Hello everyone, Jason Warren with DT Met, and today we'll be discussing the big system that's coming out of the Rockies, and will be entering the Plain States and is forecast to bring blizzard conditions to the northern plains and severe weather to the central and southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley early this week. Currently we have snow showers ongoing across parts of the west, especially the Intermountain West from the northern Rockies down to the central Rockies and into even the southern Rockies and Four Corners area, with rain showers further south and across the lower elevations. We even have some rain in parts of Southern California, from the Santa Barbara area into Los Angeles, even down toward the San Diego area is getting wet this morning. Elsewhere across the country, from the Plain States eastward, it's fairly dry. A few showers in the southeast, but the system in the northeast has exited and things are looking better in that area. So our focus today is going to be on the system coming out of the Rockies. Start off this morning by looking at the 500 millibar vorticity chart, and it shows the big upper trough across the west, and as it spreads eastward across the central Rockies, we'll begin to consolidate into a much stronger area of low pressure across eastern Colorado, northwestern Kansas, and southwestern Nebraska later this afternoon and into tonight. During the day on Tuesday, the system will move northeastward across Nebraska and then become nearly stationary across northern Nebraska and southern South Dakota, before then drifting southeastward toward Iowa later in the day and into tomorrow night. At the surface, severe weather will begin to become an issue later tonight as the surface low begins to develop across eastern Colorado. Severe storms are expected to break out across parts of western Kansas, western Oklahoma, and down into parts of northwestern Texas. These storms have the potential to produce damaging winds, large hail, and possibly isolated tornadoes. These Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 outlook, which is primarily for tonight, includes a slight risk for parts of western Kansas, western into central Oklahoma, and parts of northwestern Texas. We will also begin to see heavy snow breaking out across parts of South Dakota, back into southeastern Montana, much of Wyoming, and northeastern Colorado later tonight and into the early hours of tomorrow morning. Some areas could see snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour in some of these heavier bands. The heaviest snowfall tonight is likely to occur right in this area where the heaviest rain bands are curling back into the cold air. And there could also be an area of mixed precipitation right at the point where the precipitation changes to snow. This is where we'll expect to see the heaviest snow rates and possibly even some thunder snow. As we head through late tonight and into tomorrow morning, the system will really begin to intensify and mature. And this is when we'll see the heavier snowfall rates spread out and become more widespread across South Dakota, western Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, eastern Wyoming, and even up into southeastern Montana. Blizzard warnings are in effect for these areas already, as strong winds will begin to develop out of the north. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, possibly even higher, could occur, especially in areas where these heavier rain elements curl up into the colder air. Some mixed precipitation is also likely to occur across parts of northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, and across parts of South Dakota and Nebraska in the area where the rain changes to snow. Further south, severe storms will spread eastward, with a decent squall line spreading through southeastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, and north central and into northeastern Texas during the morning hours. As we head into the afternoon, the system will continue to intensify and deepen, with blizzard conditions spreading across the Dakotas and possibly into western Minnesota by late in the day. Heavy snow will also continue across parts of Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, but will begin to wind down as we head into the evening. Severe weather will remain a threat across parts of the southern Plains states, spreading into the lower Mississippi Valley, with the threat for tornadoes as well. SPC's Day 2 outlook for tomorrow has a enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms across parts of northern Louisiana, with a slight risk surrounding that, and this includes the potential for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. SPC has also issued a risk area for significant tornadoes of EF3 intensity or higher across parts of northern Louisiana for tomorrow. In addition to the severe weather threat, there will also be a flash flood threat from the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana northward into Missouri across the lower Mississippi Valley. From Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, the system will become nearly stationary for a time across parts of southern South Dakota and northern Nebraska, with heavy snow continuing to the north, with heavy rain and severe thunderstorms possible to the south near the Gulf Coast and up into the lower Mississippi Valley. Here's a look at the snowfall potential of the HRRR model, and this is through 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. And it shows the heaviest snow is expected to fall in the area around the Black Hills region of southwestern South Dakota, northwestern Nebraska, and far eastern Wyoming. Some areas in the vicinity of Rapid City in the higher elevations there could see in excess of a foot of snow and possibly as much as 2 feet of snow in some areas. This snow will be whipped around by strong winds, and large snow drifts are expected. In addition to the snowfall, we'll see some icing with this system, especially across parts of South Dakota, Minnesota, and into Iowa, and possibly as far east as Wisconsin. This is going to be a powerful system with wide-ranging impacts for a large portion of the country. We will likely go live at some point during this event. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when we go live or when we post additional video updates on this system.